disciples of Jesus asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" Jesus answered, "Neither this man nor his parents sinned. He was born blind, so that the works of God might be revealed in him." Amen. Please be seated. When I was a child, one of my favorite reruns of sitcoms that I enjoyed to watch was a show some of you may know. It was called Leave It to Beaver. Some of you may know of it. And the Beav, right? The little brother. I was a little brother, so I liked him. He was a little of an imp. I was a little bit of an imp to my big brother. And Beav would always walk into his brother's room and say, "Gee, Wally, that's swell." Do you remember him saying that? It never has left me. I love that. I have never in my life used the word swell in that way, and I probably never will. The words that we use, right, have meaning, and sometimes they start with one and they transition into another. Sometimes they drop out of favor, like swell. And some of them just pop up to express something old in new ways. The language that we use helps us understand God. And when I approach this lesson, this long lesson from John's Gospel, it was hard language to hear. Because its meanings and definitions and the way in which the words were put together are not the ways I put words together. They're not the words and the ideas of how I understand who God is. This lesson about a man born blind is easy then to shut my eyes to and walk away. I don't believe that this man was born blind because he sinned or his parents. And I'm not sure, but I have yet to meet someone who might believe that. Something in language, something in us, something in God has changed. That sin does not equal disability or illness or ailment. But there has to be something that I can touch, that I can hold on to, that I can enter this story and help me make sense of God in the world. And as I was wrestling, and yes, wrestling, and it was a long wrestling match this week with this long lesson, it came down to seeing Jesus. Plain and simply, seeing this one Jesus whose actions spoke louder than any words he spoke or anyone else. This Jesus walked in and he made some mud. He put it on the eyes of the man who was blind. And then he sent him away. He said, "Go and wash. Go." And then the miracle started to happen. Jesus came into this man's life. He didn't ask him to come in. It's not like in the other Gospels where the blind man stands up and says, "Jesus, Son of David." No. Jesus went to the blind man. Jesus knew that it was his touch, simply a touch, that was going to bring him health, bring him light, bring him life. then the word, go and wash. Now this blind man was just sitting there, maybe lucky to get food left over from somebody's dinner. He did not know the touch of any human being. He was dirty. Not only a beggar, not only someone on the side of the road, but he was understood to be a sinner, even if he wasn't. No one dared touch him, but Jesus did. And he touched him. Jesus touched the blind man where he was most vulnerable, where he was most sensitive, at that place in his life that he knew he was missing something, that he wasn't whole, that he needed something more than what he had. He touched the most tender spot in that man's life, his eyes. Jesus is our way into this story. Because then he heard, go and wash. So he got up and he washed. He went down and he put some water on, and he could see. He was whole. He was complete. But he did one more thing. Those people around him kept saying, were you not the one that used to sit right here, that used to, just kind of be a thing at the side of the road? He said, well, yeah, but I can see now. Yeah, that was me. But I can see. Because this guy touched me. He sent me to wash. He gave me new life. He gave me a new meaning of life. He told me I'm not a sinner. He told me I'm a child of God. He said, not just through his words on go, but by helping me stand, I now have a voice. You may have noted that he started, this blind man, to get very combative. As people tried to put him back in a place, they tried to put him back in a box. They tried to say, this is where you are to be, and this is what you are. Slam the door. And he said, no, this is my language of faith. He said, I don't know if Jesus is a sinner or not. All I know is I can see. Because Jesus touched me. Jesus, too, touches us. It is it not, one of those reasons we just want to be here sometimes? Maybe we'll be touched. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to see. Maybe, just maybe, this language, these words that we may not want to use or like to use, but maybe there's a new language of faith that we can hold on to, that does give new life, that does allow us to break shackles that have kept us down, or kept us away, or kept us from seeing God. For that man formerly blind had not even seen Jesus. He had only felt him. It is amazing, is it not, from something so simple of a touch. Light, wholeness, love, and a new way to speak about the God in our lives. That is the work revealed. That is the life we live.